Let's be real. To get through a Jacksonville Jaguar season, we're gonna need more than hope. We're gonna need booze. Today I got you covered with 6 distinct drinks to help you get through Sunday. So, let's get started. First up is the 95 Old Fashioned. I called it the 95 Old Fashioned because the Jacksonville Jaguars played their first inaugural season in 1995. Now this isn't going to be like a typical Old Fashioned. This is actually going to be a riff off the absinthe Old Fashioned. Yes, we're going to be using absinthe instead of whiskey. So here's what you'll need. You're going to need some absinthe, obviously. We're going to be using Midori, which is a Japanese melon liqueur. We're going to need some blue curacao. This is going to give it that teal color. St Germain for some added herbal essence and sweetness. Simple syrup because absinthe is so high in alcohol, we're going to need some sweetness to kind of balance that out. And some angostura bitters, just for a little extra flavor, a little extra spice. All right, let's start building. To do this, we're actually going to need a mixing glass. All right, in our mixing glass, we're going to do 1.5 ounces of absinthe. Yes, that's right, 1.5 ounces. That absinthe is going to help give us that green color. We're going to do a bar spoon of Midori. Only a bar spoon just because we want to kind of balance out that color, give it a little extra green. Then we're going to do a 1/4 ounce of blue curacao. All right, you can already see that color forming. Now we're going to do 1/2 ounce of St Germain, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. I would normally be using some fresh simple syrup that I make at home, but today I'm just using some store-bought. And we're going to do 4 dashes of your angostura bitters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to add some ice and stir. Go ahead and say hello to Milo too. He's enjoying a nice ice cube right now. Looks like we got enough ice in here. We're going to go ahead and stir. Go ahead and give it about 50 stirs. You can see that nice teal color that we want. It's coming through beautifully. Grab your strainer and pour like so. It's beautiful. And there we have the 95 Old Fashioned. Cheers. It's really good. You get a lot of that, obviously, that black licorice from the absinthe, which is kind of the main ingredient here, but obviously a lot different flavors. I get a lot of spice from the angostura, a little bit of an herbal note from the St Germain, and then obviously the sweetness that comes from the simple syrup along with the melon and blue curacao that kind of gives that really beautiful teal Jaguars color that, you know, we all love. Oh, that's good. For someone who likes maybe old fashions and wants to try something different, like kind of going away from whiskey, I definitely recommend trying an absinthe old fashioned or something like this. It is a little sweeter, but I think it's just a different flavor. Definitely worth trying. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, this next one, we're going down more of a tiki tropical theme, kind of like a Mai Tai. I'm calling this the Teal Tongue. So what we're going to need, some Jamaican rum. We're using Appleton Estate, 8-year, some really good stuff. Again, we're going to be using the Midori melon liqueur. Also, the blue curacao. As you can tell, in order to make that kind of teal color, mixing the blue curacao and Midori melon liqueur gives us that perfect color that we want. Some orgeat, obviously in a Mai Tai, orgeat is the kind of secret ingredient that brings everything together. It's kind of like a toasted almond syrup, and some lime juice. We're gonna be shaking this one. First thing we're gonna need is some lime juice. We're gonna do 0.75 ounces of lime juice, 0.75 ounces of orgeat, 0.75 ounces of blue curacao, 0.5 ounces of your Midori melon liqueur, and lastly, 1.5 ounces of your Jamaican rum. Now we're going to add ice and shake. We're going to shake about 8 to 12 seconds. And we're going to be pouring this over some crushed ice. We got beautiful teal color, exactly what we want. Perfect. And for a garnish, we're just going to drop a lime wheel in, like so. There we go, the Teal Tongue. Cheers. So good. Tastes just like a Mai Tai. Makes me want to just like go out by the pool. but definitely has a little bit more of that kind of fruitiness, melon, orange, a little bit of that almond flavor, a little bit of that nuttiness that comes from the orgeat. And then the Jamaican rum just gives it a great base. Really just feel the depth of the cocktail. Really nice. And also it's teal, so go Jags. And this actually will give you a teal tongue. Sweetie, you want to come try this? I think you'll like it. Let's see what you think. You like it?
Tastes just like Mai Tai.
Yeah, we love Mai Tais around here. So, did it give you a teal tongue?
Huh? It's pretty good though. I'll do that with me.
All right. Well, on to the next one then. All right, this next one, we're gonna go down the shot route. I call this one the Duval till we drop. Okay, so what you'll need, obviously, is a shot glass. Now, when you're making a layered shot, you're gonna want to put the densest liquor first. So for this one, we're going to be using blue curacao, and then the next one is going to be Midori again, to give us that, obviously, that teal color. And then for a little yellow on top, we're actually going to be using Suze, which is a gentian liqueur, a little herbal, kind of an aperitif, kind of like Campari. So it's gonna be a very interesting mix of ingredients, but at the end of the day, it's a shot. All right, first off, we're gonna be using some blue curacao. So because this is a small shot glass, we're going to be using a pretty small amount. We're gonna do 2 bar spoons. All right, that's our base. Then we're gonna try to do 1 bar spoon of Midori melon liqueur. We're gonna try to kind of layer it on top like so. And this one might not layer exactly, but we're gonna want the second one to layer more. And then lastly, we're going to try to layer the Suze on top to give it that teal and then the little yellow on top like that. So we'll see if this works. So we'll do about 4 bar spoons of Suze, so really about 1/4 ounce. So it's kind of equal with the Midori and the blue curacao. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our spoon and we're gonna slowly pour it over like so, and we'll see how it layers on top. And there, it's not really noticeable. You do have that teal effect with the gold on top. So this is the Duval till we drop. Let's see what's next. All right, this next one I'm calling the rebuilding year. In other words, a drink that you'll need to get through another rebuilding year of the Jags, which might be this year, unfortunately. Or not, who knows. This is kind of a riff off of a Singapore sling, so what you'll need is some gin, Cointreau, orange liqueur, some Luxardo, which is a maraschino liqueur, kind of like a cherry tasting herbal liqueur, Benedictine, which is another kind of herbal liqueur, some pineapple juice, and some lemon. We're going to be shaking this one again. We're going to start off with 0.75 ounces of lemon juice, 1 ounce of pineapple juice, 0.25 ounces of Benedictine, 0.25 ounces of Cointreau or any orange liqueur, 0.25 ounces of maraschino liqueur, or you can use any kind of cherry liqueur that you have, but today we're using a maraschino. We're going to use 1.5 ounces of gin, which is a little heavier than a traditional Singapore sling, but I really want the gin to kind of pop in this drink. All right, now we're going to add some crushed ice and shake. And we are going to dump right into our Collins glass. Now we're going to top with more crushed ice. We're going to drop a straw right in here, and we're going to garnish with a lemon wheel like so. This is the rebuilding year. That's good. That's good. Kind of like a Singapore sling, but it has that lemon juice instead, kind of like a Tom Collins. Really delicious, lots of herbal, lots of gin. A little stronger on the gin that I personally like a little better. This will definitely get me through Sundays. All right, let's see what's next. This next one is a riff off the classic Margarita, except with a Jaguars twist. This is the Jaguarita. Now, obviously, you're going to need some Tequila Blanco. Try to use some 100% agave if you can. It definitely goes a long way. Some Midori melon liqueur, blue curacao, some simple syrup to give it a little extra sweetness, and some lime juice. Let's start building. First, we're going to need 3/4 ounces of lime juice. we're going to split the Midori and the blue curacao. So 0.5 ounces of Midori, 0.5 ounces of blue curacao. With the simple syrup, you can put as much as you want. I don't like my margaritas too sweet, so I'm only going to do a 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. Add ice and shake. So in order to get the salt around the rim that we all love in margaritas, we're just going to take a little bit of lime and rub the rim of it. Now you can choose how much salt you want, if you want it like halfway or all the way around. Today we're just going to do a simple all the way around. We have our plate of kosher salt here, and all we're going to do is just simply go like this. You don't need to push it, you don't need to like swirl it around or anything. Just simply let it rest, push it down a little bit, and boom. Perfect salted rim. Strain it into the glass like so. Where'd my drink go? What happened to my drink? Did I put tequila in it?
I don't remember.
I don't think I put tequila in it.
Okay.
1.5 ounces of tequila blanco. And garnish with a lime wheel. I give you the Jaguarita. That's good. Tastes just like a margarita, obviously, but a little bit added sweetness and fruitiness from the melon liqueur. Definitely recommend. Also, it's teal, so just tastes better. All right, on to the last one. All right, this last one I'm calling the Home Away from Home in reference to the Jaguars' annual London game, which even though it's technically a home game for the Jaguars, it's definitely not home. But since it's also at 9:30 a.m., this is going to be kind of like a take on a mimosa. So we're going to be using a champagne flute. First thing we're going to do is actually use a sugar rim. So you're going to get a lemon or lime, but in this case a lemon. And we're going to rub the outside just like we did for the Jaguarita. And then, just like with the Jaguarita, we're going to go right down into the sugar plate. Just like that, and then boom. There we go, a sugar rim. Now we're going to add a split base of Midori and blue curacao to give it that teal before we added the sparkling wine. First, we're going to add 1/2 ounce of blue curacao, 0.25 ounces of Midori. And then we're going to top off with some sparkling wine. You can use dry sparkling wine, champagne, anything you want. But because the liqueurs are going to have that sweetness, I recommend kind of a dry Prosecco or a dry champagne. We're gonna pour it in just like so. Those bubbles really give the effervescence. Let's top off a little more. Perfect. And then we're going to garnish with just a lemon peel. We're just going to twist it around the glass like so, and then we're just going to drop it in. I give you the Home Away from Home. Oh, it's good. Perfect for the London game. Definitely recommend. Obviously, it's beautiful color, beautiful bubbles. Sweetie, you want to try this one? All right, come on. I know you like wine. You're actually taller than me in this video. How did that happen? Good?
I was expecting the sugar rim.
It gives a little bit. Maybe you just get to get a good spot.
It's good. I like the lemon.
Yeah, really good. Really good. Really refreshing. All right, let's wrap this up. And there you have it. 6 Jaguars themed cocktails to help you during Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching again. Stay tuned for more Jags Japan content. I'll see you guys later.